You might remember a little while ago I did a video, I got all geeky with some data to tell you what the world's fastest enduro bikes were. So brands, models, travel, wheel sizes, what had won the most races. Well, on a similar tip, I'm doing it this time, but with the riders, where they've come from, ages, all sorts of details about who wins Enduro World Series races. So maybe we could learn a thing and even go and win an Enduro World Series race ourselves. What I will say is you might have to eat a few more frog's legs and snails than you might like to. Right, I'll hit you with some stats straight off. The Enduro World Series has been around for 7 years. There have been 53 different rounds in 16 different countries and 4 different continents. So 53 rounds, how many women do you think have won Enduro World Series races? Just 4. Pretty crazy stat that, but there have been some pretty prolific names in the female racing category of Enduro World Series. And they start with probably the most prolific female mountain bike racer of all time, Anne-Caroline Chausson. Anne-Caro is a 16-time world champion, mainly at downhill racing, but she also won it in 4-cross and dual slalom. She's the Olympic gold medalist at Beijing in BMX. So she's got 6 wins, so she is the lowest of our 4 winners of the EWS, but she only raced EWS for 2 and a bit years actually. Moving up the scale to the next rider with the most wins, another French rider. This is Isabeau Courdurier, who's 27 years old. She's got 9 wins, 1 championship, which was that perfect season where she won every round last year in 2019. Next rider is Tracy Mosley, a veteran again of mountain bike racing. She's had a very successful downhill racing career, multiple world champion, went on to race some World Cup cross country as well, but she had 15 wins at the Enduro World Series and 3 championships. But the biggest winner by far is Cécile Ravenel with 23 wins, so 8 more than her nearest competitor. She's got 3 championships and 1 perfect season herself. So another French rider. You see 3 of the 4 women that have won Enduro World Series races, never mind championships, and talking about individual races, only 4 women, 3 of them have been French. Compare that to the men, where there have been 17 different winners of individual rounds, but only 4 of them have actually gone on to win championships. So loads of big names with the 1 win. Again, Nicolas Furioz, kind of similar to Anne-Caro French, but also a downhill legend that was kind of nearing the end of his racing career when he came to race EWS. He got 1 win at the age of 37. Many more French names there. You've got Florian Nicolai, Nicolas Lau. You've got some Kiwis, Win Masters, Eddie Masters, Keegan Wright, Justin Leov, all with 1 win. You've got Jesse Melamed, Canadian, Damien Otton, moving up scale now to 2 wins, and Fabian Burrell, another legendary veteran, a downhill mountain biker. Greg Callahan got 3 wins, Martin Mays 4 wins, with an asterisk of course, Adrian Day 4 wins as well. Now moving on to the championship winners, just 4 of them, but all of them have at least 6 wins to their name. We've got Jared Graves, 6 wins, 1 championship. Jerome Clements, the same, 6 wins, 1 championship. Richie Rude jumps up massively. He's got 12 wins, and that's the most of any male actually, but he's got 2 championships. Sam Hill, 6 wins, but he's got those 3 big championships. Let's pick some interesting stats out of all that as well. We've got 3 people that have won the championship 3 times, and they've all done it in 3 consecutive years. So we've got Tracy Mosley, Cécile Ravenel, and Sam Hill. Right, the average age of the riders of winning individual EWS rounds, for women it's actually much older than men, so it's 34.3. But the average age of a male winner is 26.2. Interesting stats. That goes to show that maybe it's not all retired men, especially, that are racing Enduro World Series. Right, let's move on into some crazy facts. Cécile Ravenel has been racing the EWS since it started in Punta Rala in 2013. I was at that race actually. But an incredible stat that up until last year, so 2019, she didn't race at all because of an injury, but until then, she'd been on every single podium except for 3 rounds. But also from 2015 up until 2019, she'd been on every single podium. An incredible stat is that Cécile has won 23 races, even though she missed the whole of last year. She's won 43% of all the Enduro World Series races that have ever been. Compare that to Richie Rude, who has won 30%. That's an incredible stat. He is the most winning male rider, but it still pales in comparison to Cécile's winning stats. Florian Nicolai has competed in every single round of the EWS. No mechanicals, no injuries. Yes, he's only won one, which is still more than almost every rider out there, but his consistency is absolutely brilliant. And speaking of consistency, Sam Hill has won 6 rounds, but he's won 3 championships. Actually, in that first championship he only won 1 round that year. Plus last year when he took the overall 2019, didn't actually win any rounds, which is a first for EWS, for the champion to never win a round. Now compare Sam to Richie Rude, who has won the overall twice now. He came back in the middle of 2019 and won 3 rounds to take his total to a record of 12 wins in the male category. But it seems that consistency pays more than winning rounds at EWS. Isabeau Courdurier went from 2nd in every round in 2018 to winning every round in 2019. Of course, Cecile Ravenel wasn't there, but she's the only other person to have a perfect season as well. It would have been amazing to see Cecile race Isabeau last year in 2019, but it was a very serious injury for Cecile Ravenel, and we may not ever see her race EWS full-time ever again. So where do you need to live when it comes to being a fast enduro racer? Well, we have talented individuals from all over the world winning EWS rounds from Australia, Ireland, Canada, England. But when it comes to multiple people winning EWS rounds, well, France tops the list. 10 different winners from France of the 53 different races. Check out all those names, some pretty legendary ones there, some French names there. And we've got 5 championships as well. 3 for Cecile Ravenel, 1 for Isabeau Courdurier, and another one for Jérôme Clément. 2 of those champions had perfect seasons as well, Cecile and Isabeau, and by far the most wins of any nation. In fact, it was only 2014 when there wasn't a French champion. We have to go Antipodean for the other multiple winners. We've got Australia, 2 people there. We've got Jared Graves and Sam Hill, who are both overall champions as well. Both of them have World Championship backgrounds, Hill in downhill and Graves in BMX 4-cross. Plus he was a BMX Olympian where he came 6th in Beijing, so a very talented all-round rider. And both have extensive experience of bike racing as such, and are old dogs when it comes to downhill. We've got 4 coming from New Zealand. We've got 2 Masters brothers. We've got Eddie and Wynne. We've got Keegan Wright and Justin Leov. I'd forgotten about Justin actually winning an EWS round in Glentress. Then we have the very talented individuals who are doing their own part for their various countries. We've got Tracy Mosley, the British rider, who has got 15 wins. Richie Rude doing it for America with 12 wins. Martin Mays, Belgian rider, 4 wins. Greg Callahan, Irish rider, 3 wins. And Jesse Melamed from British Columbia, Canada, with just a single win. Many enduro riders have tried their hand at other types of mountain bike racing before settling on enduro. Most notably from a gravity background, some really big names there. You've got Sam Hill, Tracy Mosley, who are world champions and World Cup champions in downhill as well. But there are plenty others like Nicolas Villioz, Fabien Barel, Eddie Masters and Wynne who have come to enduro and succeeded, where many others have tried and failed. There was an old joke that enduro racing was for the retired veteran downhill racers, but there have been a lot of riders who have proved that wrong. People like Richie Rude, who actually did win a junior world downhill championship, but then didn't go to the elite ranks. He jumped to enduro and it's been fruitful for him. He's got 2 championship wins there. Plus Isabeau Courdurier, who didn't have any previous professional racing experience before she started out racing enduro. As always, you've got a few outliers there as well. You've got Jared Graves, who is just a multi-talented racer. Did he win a World Cup downhill or did he not? I can't remember. Angel Fire, possibly, or he definitely qualified fastest. So a super fast racer there. And he's gone through a bit of everything. Like I say, he was a 4-cross world champion and then put all his efforts into racing BMX before he then switched over to racing enduro. And you've got that super talented racer, Cecile Ravenel, who actually started out in cross-country eliminator with some success, but much more fruitful when she jumped over to enduro. She did actually ride some World Cup downhill in 2018 and actually managed to get on the podium there as well. And then you've got Martin Mays, who can pretty much just jump between everything and win at everything as well. He was a world junior downhill champion, then he came over to enduro, has won races, then he jumped back to downhill and won a round and even came 2nd at the World Championships, which is a pretty amazing feat. So what does it take to win a World Enduro Series race? Well, looking at our stats, it definitely helps if you're French, and it definitely helps if you've got a bit of downhill racing background there. But when it comes to winning championships, it goes to show from the stats really that there aren't any major factors other than being very fast on a bike, and the most important thing is be consistent. So who can we look for in the future? Well, Frenchman Antoine Vidal, who's a junior series champion. He is only 19 years old, don't forget he's French, and the average age of a male winner is 26, so he's got a long way, or many years of winning to come. Same goes for Isabeau Coudurier, who's 27. The average age of a win for women is 34, so she's got a lot of winning ahead of her, I predict. Well, there's a lot of numbers there, a lot of stats. Hopefully you've enjoyed that. If you've not checked out the last one I did where I looked at bikes rather than riders, well, we've got a full picture now. We've got both of them, bikes and riders. Leave some comments down below. Let me know if you enjoyed this, and I'll start getting the calculator out. I can maybe do this with some downhill racing as well. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up. I appreciate it, and I think I am statted out.